Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and finally in this video I'll be giving you my final verdict on the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. This is the flagship phone from Samsung which was released earlier in the year. Now this is the second time that I've had the chance to play with the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Now those of you who follow me, you guys know already I had this earlier in the year, and the phone had lots of issues. It had RAM management issues, it was lagging, it was freezing, it was stuttering, and I actually ended up making a video on it and I showed you guys how laggy the phone was. I will link that video down under the description to show you guys what I thought of the phone earlier in the year. That was about 6 to 7 months ago. Then later in the year I decided to revisit the S6 Edge and see if it's improved in RAM management, if it's improved in performance, and is the phone still laggy. That's the biggest question. I'm sure people who are watching the video right now, does this phone still lag, or is it lag free now? Because lots of people, Christmas has just gone past, and I'm sure with the new year and the Samsung Galaxy S7 rumors up already, I'm sure lots of people out there are looking to get this phone on a bargain, whether it's on a contract or a SIM free, because the phone is now considerably cheaper as to when it came out new earlier in the year. Obviously the phone is still, it's got top-notch specs. It has the Samsung Exynos 7420 octa-core chipset, and along with 3 gigs of RAM, and even the screen on this phone is a 5.2 inches Quad HD 2516 to 1440, and overall the specs of the phone are top-notch. The phone still has a fingerprint scanner. Even the build quality of the phone is absolutely amazing. It's got this nice metal frame all the way around, as you can see in the video guys, very clearly. This is the white version, by the way, so they have got a glass back, and obviously you got Gorilla Glass at the front as well. The phone also comes with a fingerprint scanner. There's a speaker at the bottom, and you got a charging port here, and the phone obviously supports fast charging and also wireless charging as well. So all in all, still a very relevant phone, a very decent phone. In fact, it's called this a 16 megapixel camera, and this is one of the best cameras money can buy in 2015. I'm sure with the new iterations the camera will improve even further, but this is already a very good camera. Same camera used in the Galaxy Note 5, the S6 Edge Plus, and also the Galaxy S6. Okay, so the question in this video is this phone free of lag? That's the question I'm sure most of you are looking at thinking of right now whilst you watch my video. And I'm happy to report that after the 5.1.1 Lollipop update and several other OTA updates over the months, the phone is now lag free. I've had the phone for 4 weeks guys, and one of the questions which I often get asked is that do you have to reboot this phone every week? Lots of people I know who had the S6 and the S6 Edge, even after 5.1.1, are still complaining to say that they often have to reboot their phone at least once a week for it to clear the memory, clear the RAM memory and everything, and then start it all over again. But of my time so far in the last 4 weeks, I had it for nearly a month now, thanks to Clove Technology for sending me this review unit, and they were kind enough to lend me the phone for a month. So far of the 4 weeks that I've had the phone for, never had to restart the phone once. It had no problem with any lag, any freezing. I mean, I've installed quite a few bits. I'll show you. Let's first of all start with the fingerprint scanner. So I'm going to put my thumb here. It takes a second or two, and the fingerprint scanner works straight away. Initially, in fact, in the first few months, the fingerprint scanner wasn't as accurate, but as time has gone past, the fingerprint scanner has become more efficient, more responsive, and even much better. Now, coming back to the performance, guys, as you know, the phone has a Quad HD screen, lots of pixels to move, but obviously we have the Exynos 7420, like I said to you earlier in the video, a very powerful chipset and 3 gigs of RAM, and plenty in the phone to make sure the phone keeps running for the next year or two, or maybe more. So performance side again guys, like I said, let me show you the amount of apps that I've got installed on my phone. So if you go here, you will see around go there at the bottom. I'll show you in just a moment. There we go. 43 apps are up to date, and around, I'd say, about a dozen, a bit more than dozen apps are there waiting to be updated. So in total, I would say approximately around 60 apps that I've installed on the phone, and that includes a few games and primarily social media apps like Google Plus, WhatsApp, Viber, and all that kind of stuff. I've been using the phone pretty aggressively, guys. In my last video, in which I was trying to produce lag on the phone, there was no lag whatsoever. You guys witnessed it in that video. I'll leave you a link down below for that video as well. So if you have missed it, and if you want to have a look at it again, please feel free to do so. But like I said, guys, in this this video I'm gonna give you my final verdict, and the verdict will mostly be around the performance side of things. If you all know the Samsung, they make top-notch hardware. Like I said, the Quad HD screen Super AMOLED is superb. The contrast ratio, the brightness, everything is superb, no problem. The build quality I showed you earlier, no problems whatsoever. Even the camera on the phone, the front camera is a 5 megapixel camera and the back camera is a 16 megapixel camera. Both cameras are excellent, no issues there whatsoever as well. In fact, let me just turn the camera on and let me see if I can take a few photos and show you. Let's do the selfie camera first. So guys, this is me. So let me just take a selfie photo, see how it comes off. I'll have to move my face a bit towards the side so you can see me. There you go guys, so let's take a photo. There we go. Let's take another one. There we go. Okay, now also using the back camera, let's have a look. I got here with me the OnePlus 2, as you can see right at the back. So let's take a photo of the OnePlus 2 and see how it goes. The phone has obviously autofocus, so it should be able to focus without me tapping on the screen. There we go. And the shutter speed is pretty quick as well, which is good. Nice. It's one of the quickest camera phones out there in 2015, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I also got the Android here, so let's take a few photos of the Android as well and see how they come up. There you go, pretty quick as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the photos that we've taken then, starting from an Android. Without me tapping on the screen guys, the camera has done autofocus automatically. As you can see, the quality is pretty top notch. You can even see small scratches on the head of Android. I'll bring the phone close to the camera. You can see it is pretty good, not too bad. Overall, the color reproduction, everything seems to be really nice, and the picture quality is very sharp, a good contrast ratio, and overall good picture quality. Okay, let's go the other way around. I took quite a few photos of that, so not too bad. Have a look at the OnePlus 2 without no flash. It has done pretty well. You can even see the texture. As you can see, the sandstone texture of the OnePlus 2 at the back, it looks very nice. And even if you zoom in further, you can even look at the lens very clearly as well, and so can you look at the dual tone LED flash. So zooming quite a bit, it's a very powerful camera. Like I said guys, excellent camera with no issues whatsoever. Now let's have a look at the selfie photos that we took earlier. So that's me guys here. As you can see, let's zoom it in and have a look. There we go. As you can see, the logo on the Sony camera is still very visible, not too bad. It's not an 8 megapixel camera guys, it's a 16 megapixel sorry, it's a 5 megapixel camera like the LG G4. That has a 8 megapixel camera, and the camera on the LG G4 is slightly better than the S6 Edge, but considering the overall quality of the S6 Edge camera is quite comparable, not too bad. I will probably be doing a comparison video. I don't know if I've done it or not, I'm not too sure. I'll check it. If I haven't, I'll do the S6 Edge versus the LG G4, and I'll be uploading it very soon before the S6 Edge goes back. So as you can see guys, the front camera quality is pretty nice, not too bad, decent camera. So if you're a selfie person, you're gonna enjoy it, and even if you take photos from the back camera, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy the camera very well. So good marks to Samsung on that, keeping the camera, the post-processing algorithm, everything in place. But talking about the performance guys, let's do a bit of running on the phone. Let's play a bit of music and show you guys, go around the menu and stuff and see how the phone responds, and see if you can find any sort of lag. Like I said guys, I haven't rebooted the phone just as yet. It's been like this ever since I've been using the phone, so no problems there whatsoever. Okay, so let's play with that a bit. Let's go to different setting, go to sound here, vibrations, go back, do not disturb. There you go. And by the way, I also got a theme installed in as well. Lots of people often in my Samsung video, in the last one, they were saying, oh Jay, take off the theme and this, that, and I was always replying them back as saying, what's the point of having Exynos 7420, such a powerful chipset along with 3 gigs of RAM, when the phone cannot even handle a theme? But I'm happy to report you now guys that even with the theme, the phone is not lagging whatsoever, and it's giving us very top-notch performance with hardly any issues whatsoever. Out of the total 32 gig guys, only 8.2 gig is left. I've consumed the rest. Obviously about 7 to 8 gigs is by the OS, and the rest gets taken by the apps that I've installed, including the games and music and everything else. So not too bad. Let's open YouTube app up, see how long it takes. There we go. Obviously my Wi-Fi is not the quickest, so that's why it's taking a bit of time to buffer and render. There you go guys, as you can see, no issues here whatsoever. Let's put it into landscape mode and see how quickly the orientation changes. There you go. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be discussing the battery life on the brand new Sony. There you go, we come back on straight away, back to the home screen, and let's play a bit of music. I downloaded a video earlier to show you guys. By the way, the speaker is at the bottom, and I'm also very happy with the speaker as well. Speaker is pretty loud. You might not be able to obviously judge it on the video, but I can tell you the speaker is pretty loud, very loud for a bottom facing speaker. I think it's not too bad. It's quite comparable to the iPhone and lots of other loudspeaker phones. So let's play this and play it for a few seconds. So nice and loud speaker. So if you're the sort of person who likes to watch media, YouTube, films and songs, I'm sure even without the headphones you're gonna enjoy it. Even with the headphones, it's a lovely experience, not too bad. The sound on the Samsung S6 Edge has definitely improved from the previous versions on the S5 that I had and the S4. The sound wasn't as good on the headphones, but if you got a quality pair of headphones, I'm sure you're gonna love the headphone sound coming from the S6 Edge. Now another question which I get often asked: how is this compared to the LG G4 or any phone like the Xperia Z5? Both the LG G4 and the Xperia Z5 are very good phones, and they normally don't lag as Samsung phones often do. But if you were to ask me directly, as of now, I would say this phone, and along with the Z5 and the LG G4, are pretty much on par. Keeping in mind that I've had the phone for a month only, what's going to happen in the next few months to come? Would it be able to keep up with the Marshmallow update? Will I have the same performance? I'm not too sure, guys, at the moment. But from what I can see, from my experience of revisiting the S6 Edge and keeping it for a month, so far I've had no issues. Obviously, this phone is due for Marshmallow early next year, which I will get very soon. Or maybe before the end of this month, you never know, because Samsung is trying its best. They have got this beta version of Marshmallow, give it to some beta testers these days, so you never know, it might even come before the end of the year. But right now I'm running Android 5.1.1 on this phone, guys. As you can see, there we go. So it's running 5.1.1. When I got the phone from Clove Technology, it was on the older version of Lollipop. So as soon as I got it on, I switched the Wi-Fi on, and it straight away I had the 5.1.1 update. Ever since that update, I've had no issues whatsoever. Now the build number here is LMY47X and ending with COI9. So this is the build version, which is probably the latest version of TouchWiz. So no problems on this build version, and no problem on this Lollipop version, and no problem on this SM-G925F model of the S6 Edge. So 4G LTE is working fine, guys. The battery life also, I don't know if you've been following me on my social media. If you haven't, please do so, guys. I've been putting different stats on the S6 Edge about the battery life and stuff, and I'm actually happy to report that the battery life is very good. It's giving me around 5 hours of screen on time with Wi-Fi, and on 3G or 4G it gives me around 3.5 hours of screen on time, which is pretty average for any phone, Quad HD phone in 2015. But on Wi-Fi especially, it's very good, and you'll be easily able to get 5 hours of screen on time. This is slightly better than the LG G4, also slightly better than the Xperia Z5, but in general I would say above average and good but decent battery life on the S6 Edge. Apart from this, guys, no major issues. And another question which gets often asked: Jay, should I buy the S6 Edge or the S6, and are they both the same though? Well, to be honest, whether you go for the S6 or the S6 Edge, they are actually pretty much the same. Both have the Exynos 7420, both have 3 gigs of RAM. The only couple of minor differences are that this phone has got a 2600 mAh battery, whereas the S6 has 2550 mAh battery. So there's a difference of 50 mAh between the S6 and the S6 Edge, and that's because it's got the extra edges here on the sides. That's why they got given it an extra 50 mAh boost in the battery department. But otherwise, pretty much the same. Both return almost the same kind of battery life. Both return kind of the same kind of performance as well. So whatever you see on this phone right now is probably going to be exactly the same on the S6 as well. So you will get whether you get this or you get the S6, you'll have no problems whatsoever. Both will have whatever you see here will most likely be on the S6 as well. What is to come in the future, how's it going to be in the next few months to come, I'm not too sure, guys. I might actually revisit the phone again once the S7 is out. I might actually compare it, or I might actually end up buying one for myself to compare it with the S7 for you guys and future videos in comparison, but only time will tell. From what I can tell so far, guys, the phone has got no issues. I'm very happy to report that with excellent hardware, beautiful screen, good camera front and back, and nice decent build quality, and now finally TouchWiz working quite respectably. I think it's a phone which I can now at this point of time recommend it to you if you're looking to buy a phone in the market right now. And if you are a fan of Galaxy phones, then S6 Edge definitely is the one to go for. Normally I tell people to go for the highest spec when it comes to Samsung phones. Like for instance, often people ask me, should they go for the S6 Edge or should they go for the Note 5? Obviously I will recommend Note 5 over this, because the more RAM you have, the better it is. The phone still has RAM management issues. Things like, for instance, you can open up to 3 or 4 apps only, and once you go beyond that, you will lose that app and that app will reload again. To me personally, guys, it's not an issue because I'm not a heavy multitasker. I'll probably be playing with 2 or 3 apps. I'll have my WhatsApp, say Google Plus or Twitter account at most, and I'll be changing back and forth between those 2-3 apps. As long as the RAM management doesn't affect the performance of the phone, I'm more than happy. And this is what I want to also show you, the RAM management sides of things. And if you remember from my previous video, the RAM used to be always fill up 95%, 94%, and there was hardly any free memory for the phone, and the phone was choking up. And because the phone was choking up, that's why it was lagging and freezing. Now if I go into RAM management now, you'll see, guys, that we have almost 0.92 gig of free RAM. This used to be around 200 to 300 meg in earlier in the year, when the Samsung S6 Edge had no 5.1.1, and even the OTA updates were not in plenty as well. There were only a couple of updates, and the phone came out I think with 5.0.2 Lollipop or 5.0.1, something like that. I can't remember, but definitely there were lots of RAM management issues. Now you always have free memory. So the free memory means the phone can breathe, it can give a bit of extra space, and it can run the tasks and all the different applications a bit more efficiently and a bit more fluently. So this is the change that I've seen in the RAM management, which is obviously making the phone run a lot more smoother than before. And this is all because of obviously the OTA updates that Samsung have been releasing in the past few months, and also Android Lollipop 5.1.1 that has also made a significant difference. Hopefully with Marshmallow it will improve even more. The battery life is already too good. Even if it doesn't improve, I don't mind, but I'm sure performance wise Marshmallow will be much more lighter on the phone. So guys, from my side, I think I can recommend the S6 or the S6 Edge. Both are pretty much the same phones. If you're looking for a phone in the market right now, you should have no problems. But as you often guys know that Samsung phones can be at times a bit unpredictable. So if the phone doesn't work the way I showed in the video, obviously you can't blame me, because this is completely my opinion. You could be using the phone completely differently. You might even fill the phone up completely with any free storage and stuff, and you might be an aggressive or heavy gamer or a very aggressive multitasker, and the phone might actually behave differently. But from what I can see, I'm above average when it comes to heavy user. I'm fairly heavy on the phone. I bashed the phone a lot actually, to be honest. But from what I can see, all the games that I've played, everything, and I've been updating you guys all this time as well, no problem from my side. And from my side, the phone is recommended. Guys, I'm gonna finish the video off now because I don't want to talk too much. I can be talking about this phone obviously for the next half an hour as well, but I've given you the verdict, what I think, and I wish you guys all the best for the new year. And hopefully if you get the S6 or the S6 Edge, you won't have no problems. Like always, guys, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Any questions, guys, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'm sure you will have plenty of questions when it comes to picking Samsung phones up. People always have lots of questions. And like always, guys, please subscribe to my channel as it helps, and I will see you in the next video.